You know, if there's one thing that everybody in this world loves, it's not democracy, it's not freedom, it's not love or fellatio or even orgasm. It's motherfucking Cheetos. But just because everybody loves something doesn't mean you should make a video game based on it. Video game designers of 1992. Unfortunately, someone made the mistake, I believe it was Kaneko, of making a video game based on Chester Cheetah, figuring, I guess, that the Cool Spot game based on the 7-Up mascot had done so well. That game was actually half decent. We might as well make one about Chester Cheetah as well. Who would this game appeal to? I have only one answer, and that answer is obviously members of my family, because I ended up with this game under my Christmas tree for some reason. And this is a game I played a lot of as a kid and actually beat, but it suffers from a lot of problems, not the least of which is the entire time you're playing it as an adult, you're like, am I actually playing a game based on like a children's snack mascot? But anyway, let's start it up. Not a game show game for one of the first times in this series. It's actually kind of a platformer, but the problem is it can't decide whether it wants to be Sonic, or Mario, or something completely altogether. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, let's say. So basically, we're Chester Cheetah, and we gotta find these scrolls in every level, and we've gotta also get these bags of Cheetos. Basically, you can see that I've got those 2 item slots at the top there. So the item slot on the left is for Cheetos. Those don't do anything except replenish our health. So if we get hit once, we die, unless we have a bag of Cheetos. And if we have a bag of Cheetos, then that life-nourishing maltodextrin and corn-based snack will actually bring us back to life. So as you might expect in a game made by the Hostess Lay's Corporation, Cheetos are by far the most important thing to get your hands on. But you've also got to get your hands on scrolls, because they fill in a world map that you actually use a little bit later. You may have remembered that I talked about Sonic actually a little bit earlier in this. I haven't gotten into that because I want to be careful, because again, getting hit once or twice is a fucking death spell, or, you know, it's your life is over, essentially. Let's get the scroll over here. Can't remember if you can beat the level without the scroll, but it is pretty important. But also you have this run. Now, the reason you don't want to run through the levels is A, because the shit is fucking really hard and enemies just pop out of nowhere. Plus, the game is totally fucking unresponsive. Oh, I got some credit extends. Excellent. Like, there's actually slowdown on this game, and this is not based on the way I'm playing it right now. It's actually based on the game's hardware itself. And this is another Sonic-y thing, obviously, right here, too, where you get this, like, very Robotnik-esque bosses that we have to jump on 3 times. And, of course, we can't get hit at all. Or we'll have to eat our Cheetos, and those... I don't want to waste those just yet. Those are going to become essential. But we actually have to hit them 4 times. Not 3. But what was it saying? Yeah, 1, you don't want to run because the shit is fucking hard. And 2, you don't want to run because if you did, the levels would be over in like 10 seconds. These are some of the shortest levels I have ever seen in a platformer game. And obviously, they went with a certain, you know, Babylonian level of difficulty. Come on, I've defeated her already. Like a draconian level of difficulty just because they're like, well, otherwise people are going to beat this game in like 10 seconds. This is a game that now you would probably get in, like, a kid's meal from Burger King, and even then, kids probably wouldn't like it. You'd be too busy playing Gears of War 3 or something. Barbie's Horse Adventures 10, I don't know. So you can see how many stages we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like we have 10 stages, encompassing most of the mainland United States. And including Alaska as well, for whatever reason. Let's go on to Quakers Field. Quakers Field, Dakota, apparently, based on where it is on the map. So this is a level that I usually get hung up on. Things are just super difficult here. And look, how did I take the hit there? If only Cheetos did this for me in real life. Now, the problem with the Cheetos is that on the first level, super easy to find, no problem whatsoever. As time goes on, that shit becomes fucking impossible, and because I don't know if it's like the water effects on this level, but it is so goddamn slow. Let's jump on these fish, you know, pretty much, you can imagine, there's probably some poor asshole working at Kaneko just before this game came out and was like, well, my boss wants me to make a game based on Chester the Cheetah. And his friends are like, dude, how the fuck are you gonna do that? Like, what possible concept could you do? And you'd be like, oh, well, you know, look how short that goddamn level is. Well, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog was kind of hot about 3 years ago. Maybe more credit extends, fantastic. Maybe we'll capitalize on that, but you know, we can't just ape it because otherwise the mascots look too fucking similar and we get sued for copyright infringement. So instead, let's just make it 10 minutes long and shitty, so hopefully no one would ever play. God damn it, I've ran into the guys. This plane boss haunted me as a child, not just now, as a child as well. You gotta jump on top of this biplane. It's like, oh, that was totally the wrong button. That was my fault, 100%. It's like Mr. Burns in Bart's Nightmare, but let's see. I think I can figure it out here. I get confused too because I think B is jump and A is run, which is... Oh, come on, it hasn't even exploded yet. It's a control scheme that has never been used. Or should never be used at the very least. Makes me think about... lots of credits. Makes me think about what other kind of snack food games that could come out. I know there was Cool Spot. I believe that was on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. I can't remember. That was based on the 7-Up mascot. And of course we have this. What else could you do? Maybe like a Snap, Crackle, and Pop remake of Custer's Revenge on the Atari 2600, where they just like a hardcore rape a girl. Oh, there was no way for me to get out of the way of that fish. I got hit by slowdown as soon as I hit the bottom. What else could there be? Who's more popular slogans? Maybe the two guys from the Cookie Crisp commercials could star in a gay porno. How about a game where, or better yet, a movie where Sugar Bear from the Sugar Crisp games goes and becomes a professional Morgan Freeman sound-alike. That could be fun. Now, you might be wondering, what's up with all these Cheetos paws here? Obviously, this was a promo for around the same era that these Cheetos paws came out for the first time. I'm not fact-checking myself. I assume somebody in the chat who was a Cheetos aficionado was going to say, well, actually, the Cheetos paws came out in 1976. I don't really care. I'm being anecdotal here. And as far as I know, they just give you points. It's not like Sonic where they serve as, like, kind of your life bar. But if you get hit once, you're done. It's not even like Home Improvement in that sense, I suppose. Oh, come on! How could I... I didn't have enough time to avoid that, but I did have enough time to exclaim and say that this shit was not going to happen. So if I fail this level, I'm going to try a different level just to see if I can progress any further in the game. Oh, that was... Oh! What, did he fart in my face and I asphyxiated to death? Whatever, we'll continue and go to a different level, because obviously this one is outside of my skill range. But I promise you, I defeated this game as a child. It was one of the watershed moments of my youth, I remember it. The last level is something to do with a race car setup. Anyway, let's move around here. We don't... Not so great falls. I'm moving around, but it seems to just keep sticking me in the same level. Let's go with this one. Oh, you have to go in a certain order around. Okay, I understand. It's like a loop. What about this one? See if I remember this one. Ooh, I have no memory of this one at all. This should be brand new. Is that a good Cheetos sign or a bad Cheetos sign? Oh, we got some sunglasses up there. I forgot about those guys. And when I say I forgot about them, I mean it. I've totally forgotten what they do. Or how to get them from here. Oh, come on. Maybe if I do some air strafing from here, I can... No, it doesn't look like it. I think the sunglasses are just more points? I believe, anyway. Oh god, it's going down! I guess that doesn't matter. That's good, we get to avoid that dog for about 2 seconds. Cheetos. Yeah, one thing I do have to say about this game, and I say this about a lot of these games, shitty... Oh, that should have murdered the dog! If this was Limbo, that dog would be dead right now. I gotta say about a lot of these games, that shitty game, really good music. There were some talented composers going around in these days. Unfortunately... Oh, there's the Cheetos bag. It's definitely essential, as you've seen how bad I suck at everything but the first level. Yeah, too bad about... I'm not sure if it's the game designer's fault or if it's, you know, the fault of the company. So we're saying, this business is finally taken off. Let's pour all of our cash into making some of the worst ideas for games that I could possibly think of. Based on a snack mascot? Really? What kind of marketing appeal did this guy have when you take the Cheetos out of the equation? Were people actually watching, like, Chester the Cheetah's commercials and saying, like, oh yeah, I'd play that. I'd definitely play that. Oh, come on. There's nothing I'm supposed to do about that. This is what I mean where the Sonic influence becomes heavy. Clearly, I'm supposed to be running here. Let's get... I gotta get the scroll! If I die down here, I'm gonna be furious. Especially seeing as there was another bag of Cheetos back there that I couldn't get because I already had one in my inventory. So you can see, usually, these follow a pretty specific pattern. First level, really quite easy. Second level, difficult as shit. And as far as I know, you don't have any control or bearing over the slot machine that comes up at the end. And we got this guy again. And by this guy, I mean this robot that we've never seen before. I thought it was going to be the other guy. Again, one of the weird things about this game is obviously Chester Cheetah has no natural mascot unless you're going to make his enemy like a poacher or something. And I don't know, maybe that's what they did. I wasn't paying attention to the backstory. Oh, this looks like a Mad Clown from Super Punch Out. Anyway, I think this has been a pretty... we're at the appropriate length of time for any video that takes a look at Chester Cheetah's Wild Wild Quest for the Super Nintendo. Yeah, I was about to say not a bad game, but that's a lie. This is actually a pretty terrible game. Very difficult to play. One thing I did not mention is the controls are god-awful. Pretty much the only redeeming element here is the music. It's totally unresponsive apart from that. I mean, listen to this track. This is jumping. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here with my 1930 slang. This has been another Let's Hate. As always, if you've got any suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll check them out and play the ones where, it's duly appropriate. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.